Boys and girls, hope you're well. We are more or less halfway through the lifestyle challenge and you've been superb, so keep it up. I do need this weekend though, today or tomorrow, your kind of like your weekly trackers that you should be sending, obviously every weekend to kind of keep me informed, but more importantly for you to kind of keep a bit of a diary of how you're getting on and what you're doing. You can see good and bad habits. And see how you're getting on really with that, and if you're keeping to your water intake and your exercise amount and just what you're doing really, and tracking your calories a little bit. So by the end of the month you've got a whole picture of the success you've made, the changes you've made and how they've actually been done. So you know that certain good weeks and bad weeks, but you can actually relate to that and say, yeah, that was good here and good there. So make sure that gets done. We've had a little look at all the different components, so exercise, nutrition, water, kind of stress and sleep, and use them. If it's an area that you think I'm good at, I can regularly do, that's great. But if there's areas, and there's bound to be one, if not more like two or three, that you'll struggle with or find hard, use the tips, use the advice, or ask for advice on those things. I'm going to talk about a little bit about stress, and then just the whole picture, and then leave you to it again. Stress is probably the hardest one. Stress and sleep are probably the two hardest ones we neglect the most. I respect massively. You might have young children or kids. You might just find things really tough at times, and we kind of almost put ourselves last. So with the stress one, apparently, most importantly, I believe that you've really got to look after yourself. That might be going to do boot camp or an exercise where you switch off for 45 minutes to an hour, which is great. But bearing in mind that when things get on top of you, for example, if stress kind of really overcomes you, you can put yourself in a shit place. And when you're in a shit place, it doesn't really matter what I say, what kind of, your knowledge. You just sometimes, that rut can jack really quietly and just appears. And before you know it, you reach to some food, you stop doing your exercise, you stop looking after yourself. And before you know it, you're in a bad place very quickly. So respect it and acknowledge it. Respect it by saying every single day, give yourself 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever's possible. You've all got that. Regardless of your lifestyle, who you're looking after, what your situation is, you do have time. Even in the 10, 15 minutes, and I'm taking this the right way, please don't think I've been rude, you know me, that we moan about it. Those 10 minutes can be switched to be positive and do something about it. It might not solve the problem straight away, but by going for a walk, by listening to some music, by switching off, but even just leaving something, that washing that stacks up or something that's getting on, just leave it. It's not going to determine you for your life, So for example, just give it 10 minutes and just go, do you know what? I'm going to go and cuddle a loved one. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to have a lie down. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to take myself out of an environment just to think and be positive. Listen to some music. There's loads of things you can do, and I just think that we as people, we something happens all the time, negative, a bit of a destruction hit kicks in, and we get wrapped up in it, and we find it really hard to get out of it. We carry on with life because we have to. We're built strong, which is brilliant, but we never really overcome it, and sometimes you can't overcome it. I respect that, but you can make actions. So you say you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So you do have to follow things through. So if you're feeling pretty crap, before you get swamped up in it, give yourself 10 minutes if you can to kind of go, what can I do to make things better? If you physically can't do something there and then to solve the problem, do something for yourself. Just take yourself away from that environment, because if that isn't going to change the stress or the problem, then if by worrying it more, that won't change it either, then do something positive. At least put yourself in a better frame of mind to then maybe think more clearly, to then put yourself in a better frame of mind, to then maybe tackle it or face it or actually own up to it. So don't ignore stress, because like lots of things, if you're getting poor sleep, if you don't drink enough water, if stress overcomes you, your body goes into a bit of like survival mode really, and it kind of shuts down a little bit. And when it does that, that's when, for example, you can gain weight, you can feel tired, you get into a rut, and more importantly, psychologically, you put yourself in a really crap place, and therefore things that you were doing positively, or you were willing to get up at 5 o'clock to go for that run or that walk or that session, you don't want to do. You think, oh, it's crap, I'm not doing it, and before you know it, that day goes into weeks, goes into months, and you can put yourself in a really bad situation. So bear that in mind, lovelies. Bearing in mind as well that all these components work together, because actually when you do exercise, when you do drink water, you feel better. If you feel better psychologically, you're more likely to overcome your stresses and things like that. So do you see what I'm saying? So that's why these components are all really important. I've said to a few people, there's no point just concentrate on one. Yeah, my food's really good. Why aren't I changing? Well, if your sleep's crap, you're stressed out your head, you're not drinking enough water, then guess what? Even though your food's good, it's not going to help you. It's good. Everything you do is good, but try and make those 5 components, get them 6 or 7s out of 10s. If you do that, that's better than having 2 of them at 9 out of 10 and the others at 1 and 2 out of 10. So keep this up. It's a really simple format. When I say simple format, I'm not saying it's easy, but if I said to you, drink a little bit more water, go to bed a little bit earlier, face your fears and stresses a little bit more, exercise regularly, whatever it is, and that could be shifting 24 kilograms around, it could be going for a walk, and make sure, for example, as well, you're cooking and you're taking control of the food you put in your body. I think most people can do that. I genuinely believe, if they want to, if they're positive, if they're consistent, and if they also understand, yes, I'm going to have a bad day, but it's not going to determine and throw everything away. It's a bit like on your car. If you go and get a flat tyre, you don't throw the car away. You know, it's crap. It hampers you. Oh my gosh, the car doesn't work properly. It's a bit of stress. You might have to get it changed. It costs a bit of money, a bit of time. You get a bit annoyed. It might mess up your day or your hour. Might make you late for something. But you don't just scrap the car and think, well, that's it. I'm going to set it on fire. Crap, it's rubbish. You solve the problem, the one little problem, and then you carry on again, and your car's okay. So it's a bit like this. If you have a bad night's sleep, I'm not going training the next day. I'm not going to drink any water the next day. I'm not going to cook anymore. This is rubbish. It's not working. Acknowledge you've had a bad day or a bad week. Okay, what do I have to do? I have to change the tyre. I have to kind of fix it. And guess what? It's working again. You know, so my car's good. It still runs. It's still ready to go. Get in it and drive it smoothly. Keep putting petrol in it and look after it. So that's my little bit for you guys. Keep it going. You've been superb. Please give me those halfway reports so I can check what you're doing. And likewise, if you're not going to, that's fine. You know, you're in this group for your own reasons. You can't fail. It might just not be the right time. 5 components. Keep trying to work on them. The group is called Lifestyle Changes. It's not called miraculous pill. When you take it, everything will be better. The minute you've entered this group, nothing's changed. You're just in a positive group to try and help you and support you, recognise and educate you that yes, things are crap, but if you look over after these 5 components of life, your life will get better. When I say your life, I mean you're not going to win the lottery tomorrow, but you'll feel a bit more alive, you'll feel a bit more positive, you feel a bit more happy with yourself, you'll see changes, you know you're making good changes, and eventually, be it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 5 or 6, things will start to get better and you'll see success. Lots of love, keep it going.